What's going on, Fast Turn radio watchers, listeners, replay catchers, Gompers? See, you don't know who Gompers is. Gompers, my boy. He hooks me up. So fist bump to Gompers, who, dude, he gave me a lead on some products. He's killing it, and now I get to kill it too. So life is good. So again, Gompers, dude, he's hooking me up. All right, we have a special guest tonight, Jason T. Smith.
Where? Oh,
yeah, right there on your screen.
Me?
That's right. Apparently going to school me on credit card usage, so that should be an exciting debate. I've had that conversation more than once in my life, but that's okay. We'll see what Jason's take on it is. We will do the road to 500K, get you guys updated on where that all stands, and then just a quick little bit about a article that was written about FBA sellers. What's the word I'm looking for? Price fixing. They were actually sued for price fixing. Not a good thing. So, I talk about group buying quite a bit and how my mastermind group, we go in on some things. We do not discuss pricing, so we'll get into that and talk a little bit about it. But our guest, Jason T. Smith, what's going on, man?
Nothing, just enjoying the blue skies and the sun here in Vegas, even though it's a little cool today compared to the snow and hail and rain I've seen from other friends. I will take the coolest, even though we'll bounce back up to the 80s. But, yeah, life is good in Vegas. My back view is across my pool and across the valley up to the mountain, so I enjoy where my office sits because I enjoy my view every day.
That's very cool. Yeah,
that's something I thought about. So we were moving into this house. We looked at every room, and I thought about what room do I want to sit in for many, many hours. And the view over the mountains and the pool and the backyard and the palm trees, that was the winner.
There you go. Sounds like a very good choice. Yeah, I got a little sun today. Went to the beach, got a little burned. Already told you about that before we actually started the recording. But, yeah, it was kind of funny. I said, I'm going to the beach because it was like 85 here, 80 at the actual ocean. Beautiful sunny day. I mean, just gorgeous. And then, some people were PMing me, and I was like, no, I'm hanging out at the beach, taking the day off. They're like, it's snowing here, or it's cold, raining, whatever. I'm like, really? That's a shame. You should try traveling a little further south because, man, it was beautiful. Yeah, Lori Stalter got it 45 today. Yeah. Oh, the man is in the house. Didn't you? Any guesses who that might be?
I guess that is Chris.
Yeah, that's GDFR. That is definitely CG. So, yeah, I enjoyed a day at the beach, had a good time with the family, and so now I'm ready to do a little bit of business tonight. So let's get down to it. Tell me, why should I use credit cards? What am I missing? Because
I think we need to reel back a bit, though, just in case anybody's tuning in, because you and I had this. I overheard you had the misfortune of saying out loud near me. I overheard you in Rhode Island say that you don't use credit cards, and that as a businessman that floored me.
Yeah, I guess I assume that my audience follows me, but there are some of your audience here too tonight. I'm hoping and expect. So for those who maybe don't know, even for my regular watchers that are unaware, I do not use credit at all whatsoever. We do not have.
It's not that you don't use it; you don't have it.
No, we don't have student loan payments. We don't have car payments. We don't have a house payment. We don't use credit cards. Nothing. There is no debt in our life other than our utilities, which we can't really prepay. The stuff that I get billed for, I have to pay that. But outside of that, I have no credit. I can't even apply for credit cards. I have no credit. See, I don't exist anymore because the only way to have like a credit score is to have credit and to pay that credit off. And, the frequency, the amount that you have versus how much you have outstanding, all that is what goes into your FICO. I don't have one. I don't exist. So I probably couldn't get a credit card if I wanted to, but I don't want to, so it's okay. But yeah, so that's my stance. I'm a big Dave Ramsey guy. Started on his program about 7 years ago, and just after watching for a while, I was not like an instant, oh, this is great. I had credit cards at the time, and I didn't understand why this guy would say don't use credit cards. It didn't make any sense. But I also didn't understand why he said pay cash for cars and pay cash for your house, because that didn't make any sense either. So as I started listening to the whole thing, I went, okay, I see how all the pieces fit together. And it was a total lifestyle change. So it was not just one day I woke up and said, I'm not doing this stuff anymore. I kind of understood how it all worked together. So
Now, unless you're rich, how do you pay cash for a house? Unless you're rich or living in the ghetto, how do you pay cash for a house?
Okay, if I wanted to buy a house tomorrow, I would simply sell the house that I have and take the equity that's in it, and I would go buy the next house. And I would take whatever money that I have saved up if there was a difference, if we wanted to upgrade in-house. Once you own a house, it's easy to pay cash for a house. You sell one and buy the next one.
Not necessarily. I'm upside down in my house, so that wouldn't work for me.
Well, that wouldn't work very well at all. I would suggest that you stop using credit cards and pay off your house.
That had nothing to do with it.
I know.
We bought at the height, and then it plummeted, and Vegas was one of the worst cities. So, yeah, I mean, we're close. We're close to even.
That's
but
good.
a couple of years where if I stopped and looked at the numbers, I just started crying.
Yeah. No.
But we're not moving. No, so my wife's like, quit looking at the dumb numbers. We're not moving.
Yeah. That's like people that want to say how much their house is worth. I wish my house was worth nothing, because really all it does is cost me tax money every year at this point. There's no value or there's no monetary gain to my house value being, whether it's 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, doesn't do anything except cost me extra taxes each year. Now, when I go to sell, that's when it'll matter. But we bought our house about 15 years ago, 2002, so 13 years ago.
And your house is all paid off?
Excuse me. Yeah, we paid it off last February.
Nice.
We wrote the last check. So yeah, we bought well before, the height of the market. We were in it's January 2002 is when we moved in. So well before the height of the market. We watched the bubble come, we watched the bubble go, and we've been in the same place the whole time. So
yeah.
What was like $120,000 house when we built it, I think at the height was considered to be worth 180, and right now they say it's worth like 160. I don't care. So it's not like we're living in a huge mansion. I mean, it's 20 or 2,000 square feet roughly. It's a small place, but it's okay. It's all paid for.
See, I got too much shit. I gotta have a big house. I got about 4,000 square feet, and I'm out of room. That's the problem. I'll tell you though, even though the percentage was probably about the same, we have friends here in town who live in a smaller house in an old vintage neighborhood, and when it started to crash, their house was worth 6 figures, and then as people were unloading their house became worth 5 figures, and that to me would be just so. The percentage between what I was upside down and them, percentage was probably the same, but also your house only worth 5 figures to me seemed like that would be so crushing.
Cars are worth 5 figures.
Yeah. It's a small house, cool vintage neighborhood. Theirs is fixed up nice, but the neighbors weren't. And so when they started to sell, I'm like, oh man, that would kill me. And then, but I was more screwed up in mine, but I was just like, at least mine's still worth some 6 figures. Definitely not what I owe, but so anyway, so Duane happened to say to somebody else, I just happened to catch it because I'm A, nosy, B, tall. So I can hear almost every conversation. Like when people whisper, sound travels up. So when people are whispering about me, I tend to hear them. Not that you're whispering about me, but I tend to hear, and you know it too. You're tall. You tend to hear more than, the average height person.
I also have really big ears. So my ears have been the same size since I was like 10. So I've kind of grown into them a little bit now, but I got some big ears. So yeah, man, I got some hearing going on.
So we got into it about how you cannot have a credit card, and I was shocked because I was like, as a business guy, a guy who teaches others about business, to not use a rewards credit card that gives you so much back to me seems ridiculous. It's like walking past $1,000 laying on the ground, and you're like, I don't feel like bending over.
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you this.
All right.
You say $1,000. This is actually a straight up honest question because I have no clue. How much in rewards is your credit card worth to you each year? Do you ever run?
So I just checked my American Express. Now I have 2 rewards cards. American Express is my main one, and I usually charge between $50,000 and $60,000 a year. So $50,000 a year just in charges will get me 2 plane tickets anywhere in the country and a week stay.
Okay,
that is worth quite a bit of money.
Okay, so what on the high end? Maybe $2,000. Is that?
Yeah, give or take. Yeah, give or take. And then my other rewards card is strictly Southwest, so I get flights there. But just my American Express because I have a timeshare, so it's tied to that. So,
Okay.
but I looked right before we went on the air. I got I charged $50,000 on that. $50,000 is worth 2 plane tickets, and then they throw in a week's worth of hotel stay. So
That's it's good
to
perk.
me. Yeah, that's a good perk. And so when I was trying to argue with you, you're like, look, I pay cash. I have no debt. I pay cash. And I'm like, what if you want to go on vacation? And you here's where you really screwed up, because you're like,
I don't think I screwed up.
no, because you said originally you said if I'm going on vacation, I pay cash. And then I think we kind of left the conversation, and other people got involved, and we ended up back in it. And then I heard you say, I got kids. I can't afford to take them on vacation. You said those words. Yeah, and I said if you would use a credit card, that vacation would have been free.
Yeah, you said something about, do you fly? And I said, no, I got kids. I said, it's too expensive to fly. You were like,
exactly.
You should have used your rewards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I think of, look, I'm not a big player. I think of people like Irma. Irma sells a lot, so she's got to buy a lot. So she's got to have some sick-ass rewards if she's using a rewards card. So I don't know what you buy and turn around. I'm not even going to ask, but that could fly all the kids, and you could have a couple extras. Take some friends with you. But we never got, of course, I never changed your mind. You never changed mine. But if something happened to me that without a credit card, I would be just shit out of luck.
Okay.
So, and some of you might know the story. I don't know if I've ever talked about the end of it. So I figured this will be a perfect show to come on, since you and I already had this discussion, and it kind of works it in. So most people tune in, and maybe not all, but some might not know I have a show on Spike. And when season 2 was rolling around, our TV was kind of going out, so I wanted to buy a new one. And at the time, you could buy some nice 80-inch TVs, and I had a 70, I think, before. So I bumped it up to 80. I bought it on Amazon, and here's a good commercial for Prime. An 80-inch TV is so big it can't be shipped normal routes. It has to go freight. 2 dudes brought it into the house, and that was all free because of Prime. So that's a good commercial for Prime. Plus, they gave me $100 off, because Prime members got $100 off any TV above $3,000 or something like that. So the TV was $4,000. It was like 38 and some change. And we bought it in December of 13. And it had a year warranty, and I did not buy an extended. I've not had problems with really any of my TVs in my house. So the end of December 14, so after the year was up, there was this ghost figure, black ghost, in the bottom of the TV, in the middle of the screen, about that big, that the pixels were dying.
That sucks.
And it's just a year-old TV that I spent $4,000 on. And so I was talking to Chris about it. Chris goes, first I called the TV company. It was Vizio. Uh-huh. And I explained, and they explained their policy. And I said, I get that. I'm about 3 weeks past your deadline, and my TV is now shot. Because they said, send us some pictures. And they said, yep, it's shot. And I go, so I have other Vizios in my house. Like right now, I'm looking at you on my computer monitor, but I got a Vizio as a secondary monitor right here. I got a Vizio across the hall in the guest room. I like Vizio. They make a decent product for a good price. And so I try to explain that to them, and they're like, all right, let's see if we can get you a deal. We'll come back to you. So their deal was, give us another $2,800, we'll send you another TV. And I'm like, are you insane? I go, how quickly do you think I'll be buying another Vizio now from your company, no matter what channel? And they're like, sorry, that's all we can do. So I was talking to Chris Green, and Chris is like, hey, Amazon wants their customers to be happy. Give them a call. So I had a very, very nice conversation with the customer service rep, and I wasn't a jerk. I was like, hey, screw you guys. But at the end, I'm like, how quickly do you think I'm going to spend another $4,000 on your platform? Not real quick. So luckily, I have a very smart wife, and she is like, I think our Amex has some protections on it. So I called American Express, and I said, so what's the deal? I explained the story to them, and they're like, well, everything you buy that you use your Amex on, we double the warranty. So if it's a 90-day warranty, you get 180. If it's a year, you get 2 years. I go, all right, so I got this TV, I got this problem. Like, you need an official Vizio technician to come out. We'll pay for it. So I was all right. So the guy came out. We took the TV down. He unscrewed everything, did all his little doodads in his work. And he said, yep, it's broke. So, we're jumping through hoops. And so he filled out a report. I sent it in. And 10 days later, I had all my $4,000 back.
That is cool.
There is nothing else if it had been you, you would have been shit out of luck.
Had it been me, I wouldn't have had a $4,000 TV.
Could be any product you buy though, buddy.
It could. And that's cool. I'm glad that you had that. I'm glad that you did not get screwed with the bill on that. We're having to replace the TV. The couple of things that came to mind as you said that, first of all, I would not spend $4,000 on a TV. My car. But
that's irrelevant. That's just
it's not irrelevant.
No, it is, because we all have to buy things. So if they apply that to a car, same thing. You have to buy stuff in your day that isn't cheap.
You know how much my car was when I needed to replace it? Okay.
What happened here? What happened?
I don't know. All of a sudden, it just like B Trotman, picture popped up. Hey, B, did you know you? If you click the little camera down at the bottom, it'll take you off the video.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Are you clothed?
Unless you would like to. We only see you from here up. You're safe. I can mute you, but I can't turn off your video.
So she's muted herself, but she's still there. Okay.
Yeah, there she goes.
So let's say a hot water heater or a washer and dryer or stuff you need to have.
Yeah. Now we got Chris Green on. What's up, man? Everybody's just popping in. Here's the deal. You're right. I would just be out, but I have money set aside to just be out. It's part of the overall foundation that we've built. And I say we, because my wife and I have been working this whole lifestyle for going on 8 years now. Okay. I first of all have plenty of money in our emergency fund to take care of true emergencies. Water heater is an emergency. $4,000 TV is not. Okay.
No, I wouldn't say it was an emergency, but we all have to buy things that aren't cheap.
Right. When my Volkswagen Jetta died. Okay. 13-year-old Volkswagen Jetta.
You drive a girl car? What the hell?
I did, until the timing chain went out on it, because apparently you're supposed to replace those, but I didn't know it. So after like 160,000 miles, it finally broke, and there goes the Jetta. So I had to buy a new car. Well, most people would go down to the car dealership. They would take out a loan. They would, start making payments on their car. I went to Craigslist. I said, I need a van because the Jetta just doesn't cut it for the FBA business. I've got a few $1,000s that I'm willing to throw at it. And so I spent $2,700 on the new van. That's my 2002 Honda Odyssey. Spent about $1,700 getting it all fixed and make sure that it's up to date with all the new belts and hoses and all that crap. So for what's that, about $4,200 or $4,400, I had my new 2002 Honda Odyssey, because that's how I do things. It's, I'm not going to go buy big flashy. You spent as much on a TV as I did on my car. We just live a very.
Oh, absolutely. But let's say they covered, covered used cars. Yeah. You spent the same amount of money.
Yes.
You'd be screwed.
Yeah, I would have to go into my emergency fund or my checking account.
But that's a waste of money. So as a businessman, when you could have free protection, you're saying no to free. You're basically saying no to free insurance.
Well, I'm trying to lay this out so that you truly understand it's a lifestyle and not just you're talking about one piece of an overall lifestyle. And this is a terrible analogy, and I know it is, but this is the best one I could come up with, and it's horrible. If I told you I am a vegetarian, okay, I don't eat meat. There's no way I don't eat meat whatsoever, because that's the lifestyle I've chosen, except bacon, because bacon tastes really good. So I'll eat bacon, but that's it. Other than that, there's no way I'm touching it. Okay, no meat whatsoever except bacon. That's kind of how I see credit cards. I do a no debt lifestyle. I don't want to mess with credit cards. I don't want to mess with lenders, loan companies, any of it. I don't deal with those people. Not even if it tastes like bacon. Not even if it has those little perks that if you look at this one tiny aspect of what they offer, it looks good, because the rest of it's crap.
But okay, hang on. Because Joseph just said what I was going to say to you anyway, so Joseph beat me to the punch. You could send a payment to your credit card company every single day. So you can still reap the reward of having it,
Now,
get your cash back or whatever, and have that free insurance, and you would still have no debt.
but I have to deal with Amex. Now, let me go to the next step.
Deal with it. You click a button.
No. I have an agreement in place with Amex at that point, right? Why is it Amex can afford to give those protections? How do they have the money to buy you plane tickets? How do they have the money to buy your insurance? How do they have the money to give? How can they be giving you money?
Because of all the fools who can't control their spending.
Right.
So to me, that says you at some point went way off the rails and were in debt based on this.
No, I watch these companies that are pieces of crap. I don't swear on my Zoom, but
oh well, sorry, I already swore like 3 times.
No, it's fine. You do what you want. People know you.
I'm drinking, I'm swearing. If I got a cigar, I'll light up. What the hell?
There you go. My guests are allowed to do whatever they like. But no, so I'm not going to even do business with a company that treats people the way they do. And credit card companies are the worst out there. And I know this just from family members that have gone horribly into debt and screwed their lives all up. And who gets phone calls? I do. They're calling me going, do you know this person? Do you know this person?
That's a shitty argument because every company in the world is evil in some aspect. So you should be, absolutely. Tell me one company that isn't evil in some aspect.
How is a utility company evil?
Oh my God. The utilities that they're raping us right now in Nevada with, it's insane. Insane.
It's okay to be in business to make money. It is not okay to be in business to take advantage of people. And that's where I see credit card companies.
So then every liquor company is evil because some people don't know when to say when. Is that what you're saying?
No,
that's exactly what you're saying. Because how many alcoholics in the world have lost everything? Tons. But I can drink and be just fine.
Okay. And if
I can afford $4,000 TVs.
There you go.
My point is what you're saying about credit cards could easily be put on fast food, liquor, anything that could be detrimental if you don't know how to control it.
Yeah. The lottery, actually, I apply the same kind of thing to the lottery. It's taking advantage of the poorest among us. And I don't like it. So I don't play the lottery. I don't mess with credit cards. Again, it is a lifestyle decision. There are just certain things that I look at and I go, no, it doesn't fit what I'm okay with. It's just not okay with me. You're talking about the liquor. That's legal. I don't mind that.
Credit cards are legal. Yeah, what kind of weird argument is that?
No, what I start to look at is no, I'm not. No, I won't go down the road. No, it's still.
Chris is shaking his head.
No, because
just to shake his head.
Yeah, it's going to open up a whole nother can of worms that I'm not even going to go down.
Now, I want to go back to something you said in my group today. You're like, I'll listen, but I ain't changing my mind.
No.
Now, you're a coach. Can you imagine if your students are like, you can talk all you want, but I ain't going to pay attention because I'm set in my ways?
No, I've heard these arguments before. It's not that I'm set in my ways and I'm not going to listen to what you have to say.
Hang on. I hate to interrupt this.
No, man, go ahead.
Hang on.
Can you check?
Is that it?
Yeah.
Did he reset the sorry, I'll mute this.
No, that's cool.
We had new landscapers working on the yard. Hang on.
Go for it, man. All right. We will take a break right now while Jason goes and deals with his landscapers. So just real quickly, let's talk about some of the things that I've talked about. And this is the article that came out. I'm sorry, I do not have the link to it. I think Michael Flanagan posted it actually in the Scam Power group. It was an article about a lawsuit that came out. An antitrust lawsuit for price fixing. And it was a guy that's selling posters on Amazon, and there were a group of them. And they sued, and the government sued, they lost, and they ended up being found guilty of price fixing. Guys, it's okay to do group buys, and it's okay to share risk. There, Michael Flanagan's got it. Red Code. That's who it was. I knew it wasn't Reddit. It was Red Code.
I'm back. Sorry.
That's all right. I'm going to finish up this one part about the antitrust stuff. So it's okay to do group buys and to share the risk on a buy, but do not talk about what price you're going to sell that product at. Do not discuss with your group what you need for an acceptable return to you, or say, I'm going to price up here. You guys should really raise your prices because, we could make more money and here's the sales velocity and all that. Do not ever, don't ever discuss price with people you're doing a buy with. And don't, it's in a PM and I'm on Facebook, so nobody's ever going to see it. Right. Everything on Facebook is being recorded. So as soon as there is a lawsuit, all they'll do is go to your account. They will grab all that stuff. So as soon as you type in, I think we should sell at this price, you're done. So just don't do it. If you're going to do group buys, don't discuss the pricing that you're going to sell it at. Michael, thank you for the link. He's got it over there in the chat. Go read that antitrust lawsuit. It's a quick article. It's a quick read, but it's an eye-opener. And it talks about specifically people selling on Amazon that got busted for price fixing. Bob Willie says she'll at auctions too. So that was my little segment that I wanted to throw out just for a couple minutes. Please go read that article. You will understand. You never discuss pricing. Do group buys. Do not do group pricing. Does not work. All right, Jason.
Hey, my landscaper doesn't take credit cards, son of a bitch.
Oh my God, you might have to pay him in cash.
Hey, before we go on, I want everybody to know, in case you're tuned in and you're like, what the hell's going on? Duane and I are great friends.
Yeah.
And so when this conversation is over, we'll be, this is just a fun back and forth.
Oh no,
so anybody takes it seriously. No.
I love this stuff and I'm passionate about it, but my God, I'm not going to get mad at you because we don't.
But some people might tune in and see us going back and forth and be like, hate each other. No, not just farthing from the truth. Duane's my buddy for life.
Not at all. Dude, love you to death. But you asked, it just slipped my mind again. You said as a coach, how can I be this closed-minded, that I should be open-minded? I want to make it clear. I have seen both sides of this. I have used credit cards. I've
dork.
Yeah, he is.
Absolute dork.
But I've used the credit cards. I've not used credit cards. I've had all those payments that I talked about, student loans, cars, mortgage, and credit card debt. I have had credit card debt that was beyond 30 days. I've done the credit card debt, but I pay it off every 30 days. I've done all of it. So this is not, you come to me with an argument or a viewpoint, and I'm just shutting you down saying there's no way. I've heard all this before. I've had these discussions, and I've just made the decision that even though, again, that little piece of bacon is really good, I'm just not eating it. Okay. So
how's your oldest?
How is my oldest, or how old
is your oldest?
12.
12. So in 6 years, Daddy, I'm smart enough to go to Harvard. What are you going to do?
Pay for it.
You ain't going to have cash for it.
If he's going to Harvard, he better have some kind of a.
Not everybody that goes to Harvard goes. Harvard has to make money too.
Yeah. Yeah. If my kid's going to Harvard, it's because he got a grant to go to, or a scholarship. That's what I'm looking for. So your kid.
So what you just said is, if your kid is smart enough but doesn't get the grant, Daddy's cheap enough that we're not carrying debt, so you're just going to community college. Yeah,
I think he can get just as good an education for a lot less money. You betcha. I wouldn't send my kid to Harvard. My God. That's just, I might as well send him to Bennington in Vermont,
so he can only go to a college that Daddy can pay cash for, right?
He may have to pay a lot of it himself. I am saving up money, and yes, we will be able to pay for it, but I also don't want him to have the pampered life where I don't have to work for anything.
I'm going to mark this in my calendar 6 years from today. I'm going to ask you how that's going.
Yeah, we will. It will be interesting. I totally agree with you, but he won't take out student loans. And my wife, I never actually had student loans because I didn't go to college. And
I got thrown out, so my loans were very small.
The little bit that I took, I paid for, because it was like a few classes here, a few classes there. It wasn't a big deal. My wife is the one with the master's degree and the all the education stuff. She's the one with the letters and the crap after her name. She's the smart one. She's the educated one. She's also the one that had a BMW worth of student loans. And she went, oh my God, we're just buried. And it took us years to get out from under that. It was like $32,000, $35,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. And it took us years. She will not let our son take out student loans more than I wouldn't. And I'm pretty freaking strong about not doing student loans.
But that's telling me that you would limit your kids' availability of colleges.
Possibly.
Because look, I don't believe in college all that much. I got thrown out, and I'm doing just fine. I'm buying $4,000 TVs, but if you want to go to college, I don't think your college should be predicated on how cheap daddy is.
I don't think it is. I think we would make a smart decision as to what he needs. Did I get a brand new van? No, I got a van that works just as well as the other one. Would this college give you just as good an education as that one? I believe it would. So you look at what the options are that you have in front of you. I don't think he has to go to Harvard. That's just – and if he wants to go to Harvard, he better figure out a way to do it without borrowing money, because otherwise he's going to be one of those lawyers that's, in debt beyond belief, that's working his butt off just to pay back his student loans. I don't want him to start life buried. That's a crappy way to start. I'd rather he not go to college and not be buried under debt than to go to college and have to pay that debt back. There's no way.
What happens when son is an adult and he wants to have a credit card? Is he disowned?
Hopefully, I will raise him correctly that he won't want credit cards.
Have an empty chair at the table.
Yeah. Josh was not invited back this year. He wanted to put the turkey on credit. We just couldn't have that.
Josh got a Discover card. He's out.
We would have a pretty stern discussion, but no, I will let him in the house. I will just try to figure out where I went wrong. That's all. But yeah, so that really, to me, it's a lifestyle. And that is what you're looking at, is that one little part that you go, this is the really good stuff, but we'll just ignore all the bad. And it's just,
but there is no bad. There is no bad if you don't spend more than you have. There is no bad. What's bad to me? It's only been good to me. It gives me free trips. It fixed my TV issue. It's only been good to me. And in those moments, because I was thinking about, what if you had a deal where you needed a credit card to buy $3,000 worth of product that could turn into $100K? You'd be just like, nope, I got to walk away.
Why? I've got cash.
I'm telling you, if the deal is credit only.
Yeah, I guess I'd walk away.
I don't believe in your drug money cash business.
And I'm okay with that. If I have to say no because I would have to borrow money, I'm okay with that.
See, I think that's a bad business, because if you and me and Chris and anybody else that rolls in our circles, we're good at what we do. So if we see the deal that's going to pay us handsomely, but I got to use some credit to do it, that is a good business model.
Yeah.
Because not only will my credit reward me, I also know, look, because there's been times when I've been at an estate sale that just was wild beyond my dreams. And you can only take out so much out of the bank in a day. And all of a sudden I'm like, I am short. I need to buy all this stuff because this is worth 10 times what they're selling it for. Hey, do you take credit? Yep. Sweet. Now I can get all my stuff and make all my millions, as Michael Flanagan said.
Now, yeah, and if you have money in the bank to back those cards, well, I wouldn't do it personally. That's the only way that I could ever conceive of anybody running.
Well, yeah, that's always the way. I always have money in the bank. I've never not. I mean, when we were younger a little bit, but in the last 15 years, I've never not paid off my credit card at the end of the month.
Okay, because what really scares me is when people buy those fantastic deals that just can't be passed up. Hang on.
What am I hearing? Are the aliens coming for us?
Yeah, somebody came in here. I just mute everybody. Somebody's mic came on. So those credit only, or the ones that scare me are the people that can only buy with credit because they don't have the cash for it. As opposed to the situation you're describing, where you have the cash in the bank, but you just can't access it. You can't get that much in a day, which I totally understand. There have been times I had to stop sourcing. It happens. I'm okay with that. My debit card only lets me spend so many. Usually 2,000 was the old limit. Now I think it's up to 5,000. But there were days where I just said, "Yeah, pretty much at my limit. I guess I'll call it a day because I spent $2,000. So be it."
So kind of like you're saying, and Brian in the chat was saying, most people aren't that disciplined to spend less than what they can. But it's like anything I said. It's like with booze. It's like I live in Vegas, so gambling. I mean, I've seen friends lose their whole business. Now, I love to gamble, but I know the moment when I got to walk away. Like I've lost a couple $100. That's enough. I've seen friends write checks at the table, and that should be the sign you're like, maybe I'm done for the day. But with anything in life, if you can't handle moderation, then yeah, you are screwed with anything.
Yeah,
but too much food, too much booze, too much gambling, too much sun.
Yeah,
if you do that every day, you'd have new issues.
But yes, but I want to make it clear: if anybody is considering buying with credit because they can't otherwise do the deal because they just don't have the cash, dear God, please do not use a credit card in that situation, because now you're using credit in hopes of future returns. But it's a slam dunk. It's going to work. It's going to happen. Look, here's the numbers. It all lines up. All I got to do is lay down the plastic. I've got the inventory, and life is going to be great. 30 days from now, I'll pay it all back. Come on. Anything from that product crashed to the listing gets pulled by the manufacturer to worst case scenario in Amazon's world, they shut down your account. Hopefully you agree with that much, that you should not go out and purely finance a buy without the cash on hand to pay it off, regardless of whether or not that product sells.
Oh, absolutely. And so my whole argument with you and anybody else is, look, if you can, and I think you can, you should. That's my argument. If you can't, and like I said, I saw a friend lose a business here. Like I felt bad because I said, hey, you want to go play some video poker? Because around town, there's these little spots in all these strip malls, and they're really nondescript, but that's where the high rollers go and play video poker. And you get all the booze you can drink and all the food you can eat. And you could go 4 a.m. and get a fine steak because they keep a chef on staff because some people want to gamble. And in this town, there's money service. You hit $20,000 on a video poker hand. Typically, the bar doesn't have 20 grand. You make a call, a Brinks truck shows up 20 minutes later, hands you a bag of cash. So in this town, it just never ends. So I made the mistake one night of saying, hey, you want to go gamble? Because to me, it's enjoyable. Not to everybody, but to me, it's enjoyable. Especially if I win, it's way more enjoyable. So we both threw in a couple $100 and wasn't hidden for either one of us. And next thing I know, he's written a couple checks. He's borrowed on a line of credit at the bar, which you can do. And I'm like, hey, let's go somewhere else that doesn't have gambling. And he's like, no. And I to the point where I'm like, I left. And he just kept going. And that was just one of the days where he couldn't stop gambling, lost his house, lost his business, is rebuilding it. But I'm just like, even though it really wasn't my fault, I mean, he had no self-control. I felt bad because I'm the guy that said, hey, you want to go out?
Way to go, man.
Yeah,
way to give a drunk a drink. Good job.
It's funny. I've always gambled about the same my whole life, and now I definitely Stacey and I make more money than we did 20 years ago. But luckily, I've still kept boy, if I lost $100 or $200 a night, I'm sick. I'm done. Yeah. Like I could go gamble $300, $400, $500. If I lost it, I'd still have food and lights on. But man, if I lost $100, even $200 a night, I'm sick. I'm like, I ain't gambling for a while. So luckily, I have that in me that I'm like, ugh.
That is definitely a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Michael says there are many businesses that have grown from nothing to multi-million-dollar or multi-billion-dollar companies using leverage. Yes, there are. There are also companies that have absolutely crashed and burned by using leverage, credit, whatever you want to call it. I just don't mess with it. I don't mind building slower. I don't need to borrow a bunch of money. I don't need to go out and put a bunch of stuff on credit and go, oh man, if I only had this much money, I could do this much more in sales and I could have this much more income. It's just an overall lifestyle thing, man. That's really what's at the core of it. And that's why I say you're not going to be able to change my mind. It's not because I'm just closed-minded and it can't happen. It's just the way I live. That's all.
So Stacey and I haven't planned any of our vacations this year, but when we go, I will definitely send you pictures of like, this cost me nothing. This cost me nothing. When I'm laying in the cabana by the pool, I'll be like, this cost me nothing. I use my point.
You are free to ridicule me all you like. I'm okay with it. And at the same time, I'll pay cash. And yes, it'll take my account down a little bit, but it's also going to be okay inside of me knowing that I did it the way that I'm comfortable with.
And then when I buy a tchotchke on vacation with my credit card and it breaks, I'll get all my money back. It's amazing. It's like magic.
That's awesome. Yeah, Bob,
I do love, I want to say though, Duane, I do love a good heated discussion. It's funny because in our groups, in my Facebook groups, people think if they argue with me, they'll get removed. And that's first from the truth. I love a good argument in person. I love a good argument online. What I don't like is when people just, you have a lifestyle, I have a lifestyle. That has nothing to do with customer service. When people like recommend bad customer service practices, that's when I get mad. And I'm like, so it's not the argument. It's no, that's a shitty customer service. We don't want to be promoting that. But I love a good argument. I really do. Even if nothing changes at the end, we toast to each other.
Yes,
I love a good tussle.
No, it's a good debate. You make some valid points, and that's
well,
cool.
That's more than I thought I would get from you. Wow. So I will take that as a win.
There you go. Take it. I don't care. You have no idea how much it doesn't bother me. Yes, Jason, you win. Everybody else out there, no, I'm not even going to say it.
No, and here, I still want to do what I told you I would do.
Yes.
If you got cash to pay for everything, let me put my credit card down for all your expenses. No. I'll reap the reward. You just send me the cash. I'm the bank of Duane now. I'll do that.
No, I want nothing to do. It used to bother me, and I had to get over this. It used to bother me to run my debit card as credit because I was like, no, I'm not doing this credit thing. I'm done with it. Now, I will say this, always run your debit card as credit. Do not use your PIN number because if anybody ever gets your PIN number, that goes through a different routing system. That actually goes through your bank system, and you have zero protections. If someone uses your PIN number and takes money off your credit or debit card, that's their money. You have no protections. If you run it as a credit card, and if it's a Visa, then it goes through the Visa system. If you have a Visa debit card, if you have a MasterCard debit card, then it goes through the MasterCard system, and you have those protections to where if you have someone that steals your money that way as a credit card, then you'll get reimbursed because it's fraudulent transfer.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. So they're not evil when they're protecting your debit card. They're just evil when they give you a credit card.
If I could have my bank just give me a card.
But guess what? That ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
So
they all have the
yes. So you still participate in the
I have to. I have no choice on that one.
So you could participate in evil and reap rewards.
I guess I could. I'm not going to.
See? There you go.
But no, I am not. Visa and MasterCard they're bad, dude.
Oh, I want to dispel a misnomer that somebody posted back up in the thing. Old American Express, you had to pay off in full every month. That's not current. I think there might be one or two that still is, but American Express, for the most part, any of the rewards one are like a Visa or a MasterCard. If you are short on cash, as long as you pay your minimum, you're all good.
Joseph asked, why isn't that considered using credit? Isn't that what Jason does? No, when I run it as credit, it's still debited immediately out of my bank account. It's just a different system that goes from the transaction terminal to my bank account.
Still being backed by the company he said was evil, but it's right. Okay in this situation.
That's right. It is. In that situation, it is.
Duane's looking at it like this. Like, I really don't see it.
No, that's a good point. But yeah, I am going to use their protections because, dude, at the end of the day, that is my money. And if that's how my bank decided that they had to do business, so be it. I can't really do anything.
I think you can just have your living in a little shack up in the mountains with no electricity.
I could be that too. I'm easy to please.
I feel that. You could be one of those guys on like Mountain Men tonight on Discovery.
I don't need much. But
grow a beard out like mine, you look all
that I can't do. I could grow a beard to like this little stubble. After about a week, it just stops. So I grow really well for a week, except for these. I don't get the connectors either. I get like this mustache thing with this beard thing, and it just looks awful. It's awful. But Lori Stalter said, I went 2 years with no debit card either. It can be done. So there, she went straight credit, or straight cash. So good job on Lori's part.
Do slot machines take? Oh, I was reading pennies. Do slot machines take credit cards? Not yet. No. I doubt they ever will, because there'd be some serious issues with that. I mean, but the places I was telling you about, if you gamble there enough, they'll give you a line of credit right at the bar. So if you like, when I walk into Frankie's, they know what drinks I want to drink in what order. So I'm a frequent bar patron of Frankie's. I've never had to take a loan, but the bigger high rollers, they spend so much on video poker, they're not going to walk in with that kind of cash. Like, they'll spend a couple $100,000 in a night playing video poker because they're a billionaire. So to us, that's $200. But of course, they're not walking in with $200,000 in their pocket. They just get the credit. They run the credit at the bar, just puts it on their account, and then they pay at the end of the week or whatever. Like the guy that won the biggest hand ever in video poker history in Nevada. It's only been duplicated once, so 2 times. He hit a hand for $250,000. I was talking to the bartender, and I said, I'm going to guess that didn't even him out for the night. And the bartender said, you would be correct. So in one hand, he won $250,000, and he was still down that night.
Yeah. Yeah, I love people that tell me they, they'll play scratch-off tickets every day, hit $100 and go, yeah, I won $100. Dude, I've seen you buy $100 in scratch-off tickets every day for the last month, and you finally won $100. Yeah, that's another discussion we could have.
Diane said her sis used her credit card to rack up $60,000 in gambling debt. Yeah, you can put your credit card in the ATM and it'll spit out cash to you all night long, but you can't just stick it. There is no credit card slot in a slot machine. Trust me, I live here. I gamble. That does not work that way.
Alex says, I guess we have a small chance to see Duane on the Skinner Monkey cruise. Yeah, the only reason I wouldn't be on the Skinner Monkey cruise is not the price of admission or the flights to get down there or any of that stuff. It is, it's basically just family. I'd have to be gone for 6 days.
It all could be free.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It really
with the family.
No, it's that's my wife and kids will be going back to school after Christmas break, and it's just a bad time of year for her.
Your wife's going to school? How many degrees does she need?
No, she's a speech therapist in the schools. She works in the school.
My bad. No,
it's okay. So yeah, they all go back. She's on the school schedule, obviously. So that's the biggest issue is she has a lot of meetings and all that kind of stuff after the break, and I got to pick up the kids usually, and it's more of a family issue than
that's why you should have kids. That's the other argument we should have. Because you know what? My kids are locked in a cage right now.
And peeing on themselves and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Well, no, we got the little belly bands, man. If you got here's a public service announcement. If you have a dog that tends to have pee accidents in the house, a boy, you get what's called a belly band, and it just a piece of cloth that has Velcro on the top, and you put a feminine pad on the inside. I have not had to clean up pee around the house for weeks. I am so happy. Get a belly band. It'll change. If you have a dog that pees in your house, it'll change your life. Wow.
I might still have a small dog that we had once upon a time if that were the case, but he kept peeing inside, and once the baby came, I said, this just doesn't mix very well. Babies and pee on the floor just, not okay.
I didn't think there'd be ever a point in my life where every single day I would unwrap a feminine product. But every day, because he still goes a little bit wearing it, but of course that catches it.
Yeah.
So every day I'm like, peel it off, stick out a new one. Pretty soon I'll be buying them with all yes, for my dog.
Sweet. All right, just real quickly, the last thing that I need to do, and I try to keep the show right at an hour.
I'm sorry. I talk too much.
No, it's all right. No, I got to do my road to 500K, show people where we stand.
Let's hear it.
To April. So let me get this stuff pulled up. Isn't this exciting? Watch me just type on a computer screen. Woo!
Woo!
I know, man. Try to curb the enthusiasm.
All right. While you're doing that, I'll show. Oh, go ahead.
Go for it. No, I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, here we go. Sharing the screen. Make sure. Yeah, I don't think I'm doing anything. I don't think I'm showing anything I don't want to. All right. So here we go. You see where things stand currently? Everybody see my screen, I hope?
Amazon?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. Good deal. So what we have right now is a 30-day is up to a little over 20,000, which is not bad. I'd like to be at 30, but that's just not happening. Things did not go as well in February as I'd hoped. March was much better. And let's get straight into how April's looking. So April, we're at $500 on the day. That's not horrible. did 600 yesterday, 750 last week. So we're not doing 1,000 a day. We're doing more the 500 to 700 is kind of what we're averaging. We can even look at the month to date. And since we've had exactly 1 week in April, there you go, 5,000. If we bring up the calculator, where'd my calculator go? There we go. We'll keep it simple, 5,000 divided by the, 8 days so far this month?
I don't see a calculator.
Nah, I got it down here on my other screen.
Oh, okay.
Here. I don't know if I drag it up there, if you guys can see it or not. Can you see it?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. There we go. It's kind of nice to have somebody to talk to while I'm doing this. Usually I'm blind and I have no idea what's going on. All right. So there's the 5,000 divided by 8 days. So we're, 625. 625 a day. If we extrapolate that number times the 30 days, we should be on target for about 18,000, and we should be able to hit 20,000 this month. So that's kind of my projection. We'll see where it all lands. Quickly, let's see. And how does that compare to a year ago? All right, this month, okay, same month last month, or last year was 13,000. So we should definitely be able to beat that. We'll just pop in the year to date. So far this year, we've done 62,000 in sales. Our ASP is a little over 23, which is nice. That's coming up. And you see, compared to last year, we're not quite double, but still well ahead of what we were doing last year at the same date range. So looking good. Whether or not, again, we hit the 500,000, it's anyone's guess, but I think things are going to get stronger, starting to get the graduation stuff together. So that's going to help boost the numbers as we move into late April, early May, and then definitely graduation season is going to be the last week of May, right on through about the second week of June is kind of the sweet spot. So we got a good 3-week period there, and that'll carry us into Mother's Day if you do Mother's Day, Father's Day if you're doing Father's Day, and 4th of July, and then back to school. So that's how the summer is going to line up, and this is all the start of it. So coming up in the next 3 weeks or so, we're going to see all that stuff start to come together. Biggest sellers, I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Let's do the month to date. Where are we at? Toys, groceries, same as it has been. Shoes kind of moving up. Done $370 in shoes this month, so that's kind of cool. How many shoes have we sold? And the reason I talk about shoes so much, Jason, I know you don't really watch the show, but dude, I've been getting into shoes more, and I'm liking it because shoes that are selling for $37, on average, at the most I'm paying 20, and most of the sales of any of our shoes are about $15 each. So we're paying 15 and we're selling for 37. I like those margins. Only selling, one a day or so, but it's getting to be more and more, and I'm happy about that. I love the margins in shoes. So does anybody have any questions about the way the road to 500K is looking? So far we're at 62,000, and we're trying to
that person does, whoever just dinged you.
Yeah. Who is dinging me?
Who's dinging? Who's not watching you? Who's dinging you?
Why? Yeah. Oh, I got all kinds of messages. I have to get back to those later. Oh, that's just in shoes. Excuse me. So, yeah. Once again, we're at, 62,000, almost 63,000 in sales. So, not bad. And last year, it took until September to hit 100,000. So, we will definitely hit that much sooner this year. And that's it, unless anybody has anything. When does the Thrift Hunters new season start? Joseph, putting you on the spot, man. Have you heard anything from Thrift Hunters?
I haven't yet, so I'm just waiting and biding my time, but I'm doing other things in the process, so.
Well, I assume you're going to let us know as soon as you know.
Yep.
I was kind of wondering after our conversation in Providence. I know you'd said that you thought it'd be coming up sometime the next month or so, a couple weeks to a month. So I thought it was coming up close. Hopefully you get renewed, man. I'll be kind of bummed if you don't.
I'm like 50-50. Like it's crazy dumb work. And Chris, I'll tell you that, like the amount they pay you, talk about an upside down thing. The amount they pay you and the work you put in isn't even remotely close. When we did our taxes this year, we thought about, the final number. I lost money last year. based on the work I put out.
That's awesome. But you got to be on TV.
Well, it's paying its rewards. Like I'm speaking at SCO and I'm doing things with Chris. And so, it's paying off, but that actual work for the money involved, it's just like, you'd be like, what? You'd hit me.
No, I understand that, but that's part of the audience building,
Oh, it is, and I get that. I absolutely get that.
You get a huge boost being on TV, but it's all about putting the time in, and that stuff finds a way back to you, which is pretty cool. Because for what I do in sales, there's a equal number or close to it that is in coaching. That is all because of doing the audience building that goes along with it. So it's cool to have the sales, but it's cool to have the other income that it comes from helping other people. That's really all it is. I mean, you're showing people how to thrift. You're taking them to the store. You're saying, I'm buying this. I'm selling it on eBay. Here's what I sold it for. You're walking people through step by step what you do. And so in return, they're going to come back to you and give to you and say thank you as they go out and find that stuff and the tiki mugs and all the other crap, the false legs and
tiki mugs. Absolutely.
Yeah. But the replays, anybody that wants to see the replays will be up on YouTube. I usually get those up the same night. And, I'm glad somebody said something about that. We are also now uploading the audio only file to SoundCloud. So SoundCloud is audio only. You get no video, but if you just want to listen, it's going to be a lower data rate because you're not going to have the video and all that stuff. You can download the app, play it in the car. You can hear me while you're driving.
You don't want to see our ugly mugs, you can just listen to it.
There's no reason to look at it. Maybe if you want to see the screenshots, but I'll walk you through what I'm telling you on the numbers anyway, so it's not like there's any secrets. So there's really no reason to watch the video unless you just want to see Jason's pretty bald head, But so SoundCloud is audio only. There's been some confusion about that. YouTube is for the actual video replays. I do not upload the chat anywhere just because I don't have a good place to put it. It's just doesn't work well. But plenty of ways to see the replays, and we're excited about that. It's kind of weird. I told my wife when I uploaded it to SoundCloud like last night or the night before, I said, I used to run and listen to different podcasts and all that kind of stuff, and it was just kind of cool to listen to other people and you felt like you knew them. And then I heard my name mentioned on a podcast once, and I was just like, they said my name. Somebody talked about me on a podcast. That's crazy. And now people are actually listening to me when they're driving around or running or working out or whatever. It's like, it's pretty incredible. It's amazing the things that have gone on in the last couple of years that people actually care what you have to say, what I have to say, what Chris has to say.
And I bet all these companies are built on credit.
Probably every one of them. Get out of here. You're never welcome back.
Thanks for having me on. This was quite fun. I knew it would be, and it's good to see you. I don't get enough time with you ever, so it was good to see you.
No, it was good to see you. Again, you made some very valid points. You're just I'm not going to go down the road of credit cards. I don't care if they fix my $4,000 TV. Not that I would ever own one. Okay, but
you're missing out. Especially when you're on TV, it's nice to see yourself.
That's what it is. You vain son of a gun. It's all about I want to see me as big as possible.
I am very vain. I will never argue that. There's no argument there.
That's awesome. 70 inches.
I buy product for my beard, okay? If I wasn't vain, I wouldn't care that much.
Dude, you will private label some beard conditioner. You know how well that would sell?
Oh, yeah.
Or razors, or I don't know what you use for.
Well, this is my first private labeling. We'll go from there.
There you go. But next needs to be the beard conditioner. You need a drink. I won't say it. Yeah, I need a drink. I think I'm going to go have a drink. So, Jason,
drink, son.
I think so. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us, Joseph. It's cool. Looks like you're a new listener. I think you're is that one of your guys? I assume.
I don't know. I think so. I even see my mom in there. Hi, Mommy.
Really? That's cool. Oh, Catherine Chelton's here. So John Willis, Pamela, Michael Flanagan, of course, Lori Stelter, everybody else, Darcy. Thank you guys. Bob Willie, always here. Bob's consistent and reliable, so I appreciate that. So I'll see you guys next week. Jason, you are welcome on anytime, even if you want to bash me over credit. That's cool.
No. Next time we'll do something different. But I thoroughly appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely.
Buddy. Thank you.
All right, Jason, take it easy. Thank you guys, everybody. And we'll see you next week, 8 o'clock on Fast Turn Radio. See ya.